This training shows you how to get high ticket clients from LinkedIn just using your content and ChatGPT. That is it. No outbound DMs, no ads, no guesswork. Now, this is the exact same strategy that I use myself that has allowed me to build a 7-figure business on LinkedIn. More importantly, it is the strategy that I teach my clients that has allowed them to hit $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 months with their business. Now, all you need to do is watch this training in its entirety, take notes, and go out and execute on it. And after watching the video, if you want to speak with me one-on-one to learn how I can help you implement this entire strategy, just book a call with me. I'll put the link in the description below. But for now, watch the video, take notes, and I'll see you on the other side. As promised, what we are going to go over in today's lesson is how to build a $30,000 per month coaching business just using LinkedIn organically and ChatGPT. Now, why did I choose this lesson in the first place? Because LinkedIn has changed literally beneath our eyes in the last 30, 40 days. And this was never the case before. With the introduction of AI and ChatGPT, amongst other tools, things have completely taken a whole different turn. And to be honest, it's a fantastic thing. It has never been easier, it has never been more simple, and it has never been more clear to actually get buyers for your business. So if you are a coach, consultant, high-ticket service provider, you're selling some kind of online service, and you're using LinkedIn, I'm telling you, if you know how to use things correctly, your business will absolutely take off. And I'm going to show you how to do it. But with that also being said, if you don't keep up with what's going on right now, your business can tank. And I don't say this to scare you. I'm just saying that I'm seeing people be left behind, right? You have to, this like what we're experiencing right now is the equivalent of like Google being introduced to the internet in the year 2000 or whenever Google first came out, right? The people who are actually using Google to grab information were coming in like blazing, like trailblazing ahead of others. Same with AI right now. And again, I'm going to teach you exactly how to use it. So here's the agenda for today. First thing that we're going to go over is, why does most LinkedIn content not bring buyers? Because I know a lot of you here are posting content regularly, 2, 3 times, 4, maybe even daily on LinkedIn, and you're not seeing results. So I'm going to explain that to you. We're going to go over the LinkedIn algorithms. We're going to go over the exact system of what you need to follow to actually turn a stranger into a paying client. Then this is the meat of it right here, how to actually bring ChatGPT into this play and how to use it actually effectively. We're going to go into the repeatable loop so that you're booking calls, right? Booking calls, collecting cash, building a 30K per month business, and what to do next. So we're going to cover all that over the course of this call. Again, if you have questions, you are absolutely entitled. You can absolutely ask them. The only thing you need to do is just pop them in the chat, and I will leave time at the end of the call for questions. So there'll be an ample amount of time for questions. We'll be all good to go. All right. So now that we've gotten that covered, first things first, who am I? Right? Who is this guy you are listening to? Maybe some of you know me well. Some of you don't know me. Some of you are like, why am I even on this call? Right? So let me answer this for you right now. My name is Sar Masadi. I am from Toronto, Canada, and I have been all in on LinkedIn since the year 2017. Haven't done anything else business-wise other than LinkedIn. Now, back in 2017, I ran a marketing agency. I was helping financial planners grow on LinkedIn. And what I was doing for a lot of them was managing their LinkedIn accounts, going out, getting them buyers, and literally just running this. And I ran this for almost 3 years. And then in 2020, I switched over to coaching, started helping more people, and grew from there. So you can say there's a lot of things I don't know. I don't know how to assemble furniture. I don't know how to do a lot of things, but one thing I can confidently tell you I know is how to get buyers on LinkedIn in the most systematic, easy, simple way possible. And that's what I'm going to show you today. Now, next thing I want to go into here is, can you all see my screen right here? I made a little slide deck for you. So this right here, for those of you who know anything about digital marketing, this is me standing beside the man, Russell Brunson. So if you've ever read the book Expert Secrets, Traffic Secrets, this guy here is the digital marketing godfather. This guy started internet sales, right? I think he started selling potato guns and he sold over $1 billion on the internet. So this is me standing behind him when I got my 2 Comma Club award, and that is for generating over $1 million in sales on the internet, cash, right? So in order to get this, you have to be quite legit. So this right here was back in February. I went and picked that up, met Russell. That's his business partner beside him, Todd. It was a cool accomplishment. I'm not going to lie, being there, standing there, meeting the giants of the industry. But to be honest with you, it's not what I'm most proud of. What I am most proud of more than anything else is actually my client results, right? What I've actually been able to do for others. So for example, I want to show you Gareth here. Gareth was someone who enrolled into this program not long ago, about like a month ago. He was on this call, just like you guys, literally just like you guys. He was in the call. I remember he's taking notes. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll literally see him in the call taking notes. He wasn't, we weren't working together. He comes into the program, signs up. This guy had never sold anything online before, brand new to all of this, literally closing $3,600 clients, right? Think about this. Like, this is the reason I'm telling you. He's not the only one. I want to tell you about Jason. Jason here, I started working with him. He was a 21-year-old career coach. He was a university student at the time, told me he wanted to start a career coaching business, helping university students who didn't go to top tier universities learn how to land high level jobs, right? So for example, if you went to like a mid-tier university, but you wanted to get into investment banking, that's what he wanted to do. Not only did I help him get his first client, I got him to $20,000 per month, right? As a 21-year-old student, right? And he's not the only one. You can see here, if you go to my page, there's tons, right? Marnie recently enrolled. She switched over from Instagram and TikTok, went over to LinkedIn. She's crushing it. Roxanne, she's a full-time doctor. She's closing 8K clients. Jennifer, career coach. I have Amy, who's a book writing coach, making 10K per month. And I put this together in like 5 minutes. We have tons and tons of clients results here. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because these people are no different than you, right? These people, have worked in corporate, they've had different jobs, they come from different backgrounds, right? But they took the system I'm teaching, applied it, made something happen for themselves, right? And this is what I'm trying to tell you. I just want to show you how real this can actually be for you, for everyone, right? This is the whole point of all of this. So with all that being said, I just want you to have an open mind. Take what I teach you and just apply it, because I promise you, if it worked for them, if it worked for me, it can work for you too, right? Okay, all good? Awesome. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so let's officially dive right into it. So why does most LinkedIn content not attract clients, right? Even with ChatGPT, right? Like, why is it? Why is it that people publish? Because I'll tell you this right now. It's not from a lack of effort that people don't get clients from LinkedIn. It's just from a lack of doing the right activities. In fact, I know people who work twice as hard as me, twice as hard as my clients, putting in 50, 60 hours a week, and they can't even make $1,000 from a client, right? They can't do it. They're chasing people around. They're doing all of this stuff. So I'm going to go into this. Now, one last thing before I forget. I always have this rule for everyone that attends my calls. I want to show you something right now. This right here is my group coaching doc with my clients. You can see it's up to date to like almost 2 weeks ago. These were all the, the calls that we have with our paying clients, everything like that. You can see it all right here. So last week I gave a call, or a couple of weeks ago, on getting prospects to book calls quickly, right? It was to my paying clients. These are people who paid thousands of dollars to be in my program. Now, all I ask is that you stay to the end of this call, and I will give you the recording here, right? Literally, like I'm telling you, these are people who have paid high ticket dollar to come into my program. This was one of the calls I was teaching them. It was how to get a client quick within the next 7 to 10 days, land someone, convert them, collect the cash. This is what I taught on May 15th, 2025, literally 2 weeks ago, if not less, right? I will give you the recording of this call if you stick to the end. That's all I ask. Okay, so let's get back to it. So why is it that people don't get clients from LinkedIn, right? Number one, they don't post the right content, right? They post the wrong type of content. Number two, they think they know how to use ChatGPT, but they're not using it well at all, right? Number three, and this is a lot of the most common thing that I see, is that people are optimizing their posts for views, not conversions. Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't get the most views. I don't think I've ever really gone viral on LinkedIn, right? But I never intended on going viral on LinkedIn. This was never something that I even wanted to do, right? What I intend to do is get buyers from my content. And this is something I really want you to install into your brain. You are not a content creator. You are a business owner, right? There is a difference, right? I know I've gotten on calls with people in the last couple of weeks, 50, 60,000 followers on LinkedIn. I asked them, how's business going? They said, I've never closed a sale on LinkedIn, right? Why is that? Why is it that someone who is literally 50,000 followers on LinkedIn, can't get a single client. Yet my clients, literally Amy Hendrickson, who had 900 followers, is closing 10K months, right? Why? Because it's the way you actually think, right? It's the actual content that you're posting. When we post content, we are optimizing for conversions, attracting our buyers and converting our buyers, right? So this is something I really want you to nail down. Remember this, right? I am a business owner. I am not a creative, right? You can be creative, but you're thinking like a business owner, right? Okay. So if you've gone through any of this stuff, like I said, you're posting content, you're not getting results, your buyers are not finding you, it's crickets when you post, good, because I can fix this for you. Now, what makes a successful coaching business? More importantly, what makes a coaching business that actually generates real cash, right? I'm talking about 10, 20, $30,000 a month. Like what actually makes it happen? Well, it is four things, and I'll tell you exactly what they are. Number one is that you have a validated offer, meaning that you are selling something that people are willing to pay money to fix. This is something that you really have to remember. And what I mean by this is, look, people pay top dollar if you can solve three problems for them. Only three. I promise you there is no more than three. If you can help them make more money, if you can help them improve their health, or if you can help them improve their relationships. That's it. So I want you to look at your offer and ask yourself, which one do you fall in? So if you're a career coach and you help people get jobs, well, then you are helping people make more money, right? If you are, helping people get more fit, well, then you're helping them improve their health. If you are helping, like, let's say you're a divorce coach and you're helping people after a major breakup or something like that, well, then you are helping them in relationships. And any offer, I'm telling you right now, any offer falls into these three categories: help people make more money, help people improve their health, or help people improve their relationships. If your offer does not fall into these three categories, it doesn't have to be like hyper directly, then there's something wrong. Number two is that your offer, it needs to fulfill a need, right? There has to be an urgency towards it, right? Why do career coaches sell so well on LinkedIn? Because everyone's really looking for a new job. Everyone wants, like they want to improve their salary. They want to improve something, right? There's a need for this kind of stuff, right? Same with health. If someone's really deteriorating in their health, they'll take action, right? Every single one, there has to be a strong need for it. Next thing here is you need to have an audience of buyers, right? Again, you don't need to have a big audience. You need to have a strong audience. It's not about the width, it's about the depth, right? What do I mean by depth? What I mean by depth is that your audience actually believes in three things. They believe in you, they believe in your way of thinking, and they believe in your services. You have to understand there's three phases buyers go through: you, your method, your way of thinking, right? This is why, and I'm going to teach this in the content in just a moment, but remember this. Before someone can ever believe what you tell them, let's say you're giving them a health advice, right? Before they'll even listen to a word about your health advice, they need to look at you and believe that you are actually someone they can trust, right? And that is what you need to sell them on first. Think about how I started this coaching call. Before I taught you a single thing, I validated myself to you. I showed you me holding up $1 million award. I showed my client results. That validated me to you, right? You looked at me and you're like, you know what? Okay, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. I'm willing to listen, right? Had I not done that, maybe I wouldn't have been as validated, right? So this is the first step. Validate them on you. Then you can validate them on your teachings. Then you can validate them on your services. Very important order of operations, right? Just like mathematics has an order of operations, client acquisition has an equal order of operations. Third thing, content, right? With the content, kind of bleeds into what I was saying with the audience. You got to get them to believe, right, in you. Now, this is this is the vehicle in which how you get them to believe in you, right? The way you publish, the things you talk about, your messaging, your strategies, all of this stuff, you do it via your content, right? Next thing, the conversion system. This is what separates a content creator from a business owner. A content creator will stop at content and hope they get buyers. A business owner will convert them, will have a process to turn that interested viewer into a paying client, right? An interesting view. Now, remember, you need to have a process that not only gets people to like your post or comment on your post, but gets them on the phone with you and actually purchasing your services, pulling out their credit card and saying, yep, Amy, sign me up. Let's do this. I'm ready to go. Right? Here's $5,000. Let's get started. I believe in you. Right? So these are the four things: offer, audience of buyers, content, conversion system. That is it. Right? If you have these four things, I'm telling you, you will make 6 figures a year. No doubt. You can make 7 figures. I know people making 100K per month. I'm a part of masterminds myself right now with people making 300-400 grand a month. What do we talk about when we get on these calls? Same kind of questions. What's your traffic source? Oh, what's your content about? Okay, gotcha. What's your conversion system? Everyone's asking the same questions. Just boil down to this level, right? You got to keep it simple, but you got to keep it dialed in. Okay. Before I go any forward, is everything making sense so far? Sound good? Yes? Give me some. I see Nancy giving me the thumbs up. Awesome. Okay. I see. I don't know why I gave a thumbs up here. Okay. All right. Let's keep going here. Okay. So now what we're gonna have to do is we are going to run the numbers. Let's actually make 30K per month feel real, right? So it's not just some pie in the sky thing, right? How does it actually work? So tell you right now. Let's go with the average price point of a high ticket service. About $5,000, right? Standard, right? $5,000 is typical average price of a high ticket service on LinkedIn or any kind of service. If $5,000 scares you or thinks sounds a little, oh, I've never done this before, I actually encourage you to go buy a $5,000 program. It'll just change your paradigm instantly. I'm being serious. Like, go and invest in a $5,000 program. You'll be a part of like 50, 60, 70 other people who have done the same. You're going to be like, wow, this is a whole new reality for me. Just an FYI, I did it when I was like 21 and I never looked back. I was like, okay, well, I'm not crazy for doing this. A lot of other people do it too. So that's the first thing. If your price point, 5K, your goal is 30K. Obviously 30K divided by 5 means you need 6 clients a month. 6. If you really think about it, 6 isn't that bad. It's like 1 a weekish, right? Now, understand that in order for you to close 6 clients in a month at a high ticket price point, your income is determined by the number/quality of sales calls scheduled, right? Bang, right? If someone's going to pay you 5K, they're going to need to get on the phone with you, to talk to you, to learn from you, right? This is quite important to remember, right? They need to believe in you, right? They need to speak with you. It's not like, some e-commerce product you just like click buy and, it's yours. They need to actually speak with you. So with that being said, an average close rate is about, if you're doing it right and you're doing the right activities, about 30%. I like to go with a conservative close rate of 25%, meaning 1 in every 4 calls that you take should turn into a paying client, right? 1 out of every 4. So if you wanted to get to 6 calls, right? 4 times 6, 24, you would need to schedule 24 calls per month, right? 24 calls per month is about 6 calls weekly, which is roughly, you could say 1 call per day, right? And plus, one day you got to get 2, right? If you do that on average and you close at a 25% rate, on average, you'll have about $7,500 cash collected per week, which is 30K per month, right? Pretty straightforward in terms of everything. Now, if this even seems too much, like, whoa, all right, cut it in half. Cut it in half. Let's say you have a 5K offer. Your goal is 15K. You only need 3 clients. That's 12 calls a month. That's 3 calls a week. That's less than 1 call a day. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you take 1 call. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you take 1 call, right? You're collecting on average 3 to 5K a week. You're making 15 grand a month. I promise you, it is that simple. You just have to believe that it's that simple, right? No resistance, no landing pages, no websites. Forget about it all. I haven't sold via my website in 5 years. I get people on the phone. I talk to them. They say, yep, I've seen what I needed to see. Let's get started. It's that simple. And if you think it's any more complicated, it's because you haven't done it before, right? So I'm really telling you, just understand this. I promise you, it is no more complex than this. This is it. This is the formula. Every single month, I sit down with my clients. We sit in a group call together. And I say, everyone pull out a Google Doc right now. I want you to set a number for yourself this month. What's your number? And I'll say, Joe, what's your number today? Susan, what's your number today? And they'll say, I want to close 20K this month. I'm like, okay, great. How many calls do you need to book this month? They'll say, like, I need to book 12 calls this month. Okay. So in order for you to generate 20K per month, you got to book 12 calls. Yes. Okay. Let's create a game plan to get you there. Right. And then boom, execution mode. We go after it. We make it happen. So this is, I can't emphasize the importance of this enough. It'll really, really, really change everything for you. Okay. Is everything I'm saying before I go to the next section here making sense? I see the chat is popping off. Just going to see really clear so far. Awesome. 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 Okay. Good stuff. Yes. Nancy. All right. Thanks for the yes. All right. I'll answer the questions about like the automated. I wouldn't do any outreach automated software. I'm just going to answer that right now. Especially if you're selling some high ticket service offer, just stay away because think about it. Again, I don't want to get too off tangent, but just answer this question because it's one that I saw on the board right now. How can you get someone to believe in you if you're just outreaching to them all the time, right? Getting them saying like, hey, buy this. Hey, are you interested in this? They need to believe in you. They need to believe in the method, and then they need to buy your service. So when you outreach, offering your services cold to people, you need to assume you've bypassed those two steps, which is very hard to do, right? But if you do it this way, you don't need to bypass anything. Your buyers will just come to you. Okay. Good. Let's, again, I know there's tons of other questions in the chat. I promise you, like I said, we will come back to all of this. Now I want to go over the system here, right? What is the actual system, right? I'm a visual learner. I hope you all are too here. This is it. This is it. I promise you, this is what it takes to make 30K a month above all of this. So I want you to just look at this graph or chart or whatever you want to call it. Starts with your content. You got to publish content on LinkedIn regularly. Get people to believe in you. That is the first part of the equation, right? Get them to believe in you, all of that. Second part is you take them to some form of additional learning at a deeper level. That's what you call a lead magnet, right? Then from the lead magnet, you book a call, you get them on a call, you collect your cash, you're locked in, right? That's it. This is it. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Where does your LinkedIn profile come into play? Maybe they check out your LinkedIn profile before or after your content. That's it. That's why I put 2 arrows here, right? So I want you to think about this. You are all here today because you saw my content at one point or another and you signed up for this. At one point or another, you saw my content. Even if I DM'd you to come to this, right? Even if I asked you to come to this, you saw my content at one point or another and you showed up today, right? So you all are living proof that this works. All of you. Literally all of you are living proof that this works, right? You're all here right now, right? You saw my content. Now you're here. What this whole training here? What is this? I'm not selling you on me anymore. Now I'm teaching you, right? Remember the 3 phases? Sell them on you, sell them on your method, sell them on your services. Right now I'm selling you on the method. I'm getting you to see a method that can actually provide you legitimate freedom for your life, that can actually produce you a 6-figure income. Right? This is what I'm selling. This is what I'm not even selling you. I'm just showing you, if anything, right? That's what I'm doing here. Boom, book call, cash collected. That's it. And this is the cycle. You repeat it. And what I'm saying is once you get this system dialed in, like legitimately dialed in, what's going to happen is you're going to see very quickly that it just becomes a repetitive process. People get on the call with you, they book, they collect cash, and you're just doing this every single week. All right. So now let's go into ChatGPT. Where does the AI come into this equation? What does it look like? Everything. So first things first, ChatGPT is not a content replacement. I want you to understand that. And no matter how advanced AI gets, it is not going to just off the top of its head create content for you, which is why a lot of people create content. It's so obvious to tell AI generated content versus human generated content, and it actually hurts you if you do it the wrong way. It actually shows a little bit of insincerity. So understand that it is an assistant, right? Not a copy paste machine. Do not use it to create generic content. I will say like lifeless tips, and then wonder why no one books or calls. Do not educate with your content. Keep it emotional, right? Get it to you, write emotional content for you. So I'm going to show you something right now of exactly how to use ChatGPT. But I will say this. If you learn how to use ChatGPT correctly, it will change everything for you. I am telling you, the amount of output that we are creating in content, not just in volume, but in quality, because of the use of ChatGPT at this point now, is literally taking our business to like heights that I didn't even think was possible, right? The reason it's doing this is because I've set things up correctly. So here's the first thing you need to do. All right, I'm going to get right into the tactical steps here. I need you all, and I want take this as a legitimate exercise you need to do. I need you all to get out a Google Doc and write out a doc about your life, right? I want you to see, look at my doc right here. I'll even share it with you. Okay, where did you grow up? Answer these questions. Okay, for me, I was born in Dublin, Ireland. Fun fact, if you didn't know that. I grew up in Toronto, Canada. I'm the child of two immigrant parents from Iran. I have two siblings. Anything special about my background? I was never the smartest kid in school. I was above average, but not that much. Always had entrepreneurial drive, started knocking on doors, washing cars when I was 9 years old, right? As a child from an immigrant family, education is highly valued in our culture, right? I did a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, right? Didn't really do well. I mean, I did well in university to obviously get a master's degree, but it didn't do well for me is my point here. How was life growing up? A lot of movement, switched schools a lot growing up, financial situation. These were my parents were doctors. Doctors in Canada don't make as much as the US, but still decently well off. What was like school like, right? Teachers called me troublemaker, distraction. Why am I feeding this doc? Why am I telling you this? Right? Because remember, what was the goal of the content I said earlier? Get people to believe in you. So what I'm doing is I'm getting ChatGPT first to understand me, right? What was my time like in high school? Wasted a lot of time partying, girls, shouldn't have done that. Mark suffered, hung out with the wrong people. Universities, when I changed my life, right? Realized I wanted different things, started my first real business at 19 years old, graduated, did a lot of other things, 20s, right? These are things, unfortunate events in my life, right? All this stuff, right? These are moments in my life that I've created. So I want you to see what we do next here, right? Because this is extremely important. And I'm telling you, if you want to make top level content on LinkedIn, you're going to need to create a document like this, right? Following this formula, talking about who you are, give it a full. Obviously, share information that you're comfortable sharing. If there's something you don't want publicly known, then don't put it in the doc, right? I'm a relatively open book, so I put quite a bit out here, right? Same thing. Why did I even come across my business vehicle? Why did I choose LinkedIn, right? What LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a complete blue ocean. 1 billion professional users. Only 5% are content creators. High income people. Super easy to get buyers from it, right? A lot of things that I believe in, things about myself. I even have my own opinions that I included in this, right? Right. I talk about, living in another country is essential. This is something I truly believe in. I believe that the middle class won't exist in 10 years. It's going to be the haves and the have-nots. These are my opinions. Okay. So again, create this doc. Now I'm going to show you where the magic happens. So let's go back here. Give me 1 second. Okay. So what you want to do here is you want to download the doc as a PDF. Go here to File, Download, and then click, where is it? File, Download, Download as PDF. Can you all see this on the screen? Yes? Good. Okay, good. All right. So now I've downloaded the PDF. Go back here. Take this prompt, right? And I want you to copy both things to it. So let's pull out ChatGPT here. Take this here. So I'm going to read this to you in just a second, just so you can get it. And let me attach the document first so it doesn't send. Okay. So look at this right here. I'm a LinkedIn business coach who helps coaches stuck below 10K per month turn their business into a six-figure business, that generate 20 to 50K, I'd say per month. I teach 100% organic strategies rooted in client attraction. My main client pain points are that they've tried multiple strategies and none have worked for them, or that they are starting from scratch and don't know what to do. With all that being said, I have attached a document giving you a summary description of who I am on a deeper level, along with some values and beliefs I have. Based on everything I've shared, create 5 to 10 emotionally driven LinkedIn posts that build deep trust with my audience. Each post should be story-based, speak to their pain points, and naturally lead into working with me. Give me titles along with bullet points I can talk about. Boom. Now I want you to see what it produces. Boom. Now it's taking stories of things I actually talked about. These are legit stories, right? Of what happened. I moved to a country where I didn't know anyone. This is true. Didn't speak the language. Still built some bigger business. Clients aren't influencers. Quite coolers. Look, I went 2 years. Think about the emotionality behind this content that it's producing. Now, here is the magic, right? it will produce titles. Now, I'm going to be honest, the first swing at this is good. But if you want to get really good with ChatGPT, you're going to have to go a little deeper with it, right? I'm going to show you what I mean. So I like some of these titles, but what I'll do is I'll tell it the ones that I like the most. So I'll say I like number 10, 9, 8 is good. Actually, I like all of them. 7. Okay, let's just say the university system failed me. Okay, so let's go with these. I'll say I like numbers 8, 9, 10. Go deeper and give me a structure / script I can follow. And then I'll say include a CTA if possible, if needed, if necessary. CTA is call to action, mainly giving them a next step. Boom. Look what it's doing. Now, with this being said here, now this is the important part. And I really hope you don't just copy and paste what ChatGPT gives you and then you go and use it on your own. ChatGPT has literally given me right now 10 posts that I can legitimately work with, plug into my system and operate, get more clients, everything like that. But this is where you have to understand that it's an assistant, not your brain, right? It has given you these. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these topics that it gave me and actually create my own content from it, right? So it's given me a structure, then I'll go and write it. And then once I write it, I can feed it back to ChatGPT and say, here are my versions of each one of those posts. Now I want you to tighten it or make any necessary changes, right? This, I'm telling you right now, if you do this and you do this consistently and you do this the right way, two things are going to happen. Number one, it's going to get smarter, right? Right now it's operating on just one document. That's the only piece of information it has, which is still pretty good considering what it did. But if I write my own versions, implement that and say, okay, now that you know this, I want you to understand my writing style, what I'm emphasizing on, and improve from there. Done. Then if I get good results from the post, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and say, this post performed really well for me. This one did not. Keep this in mind for future content that we work on together. Boom, boom. You do this for 1 week. 1 week. I'm telling you, you'll be in the top 1% of LinkedIn content creators on the platform. I'm telling you right away. Nobody's doing it like this. Nobody. They're just saying, create me. I'm a LinkedIn business coach or I'm a career coach who helps women in tech create this content for me, right? And then you get some generic content. You do this, you get smarter with it. You will see how quickly this content will start to produce buyers for you. You'll start to see, I'm telling you what will happen. You're going to wake up one day and legitimately, you're going to open up your posts and you're going to see like, oh, wow, 10 people have reached out to me, 10 comments on my post, someone DMing you saying, hey, that post really resonated with me, right? I had a guy enroll into my program last week. I kid you not. I had a guy enroll into my program last week. I get on the call with him and he says to me, sorry, do you know why I'm enrolling with you today? And I said, why? He's like, because of a content post I read from you last week. I said, what post was it? He said, you talked about how you took out a line of credit to invest in your first business coach, how you took that risk. And he's like, it just resonated with me that you have to be all in. Now, that's 100% a true story. But it was just something, it was one of many stories I fed into ChatGPT about my life, big moments, low moments, high points, low points, that I was able to turn into a piece of content. And legitimately, from that piece of content, I enrolled a full client, right? So I really did, like, just give me a thumbs up if this is making sense to you. Like, I like the magnitude of this, because this is unprecedented. Like, genuinely, this kind of stuff that's happening right now. And the better you get with this, I am telling you, I promise you, I can't emphasize this enough. There's about a 6 to 12 month window that we have right now before everyone else jumps on this. I'm telling you right now, there's a 6 to 12 month window before everyone else starts doing this. And when everyone else starts doing this, it's going to be harder. Like, you're going to have to find another angle. You're going to have to go somewhere else with it. However, for the people that actually take action on this right now, this next 6 to 12 months can literally be your highest income like point in your life. Like, and I'm not saying this with any form of exaggeration, right? Now, with all that being said, I want to go back to the original point of what we were talking about, right? Which is, remember, this is one part of the system. Everything that we were talking about, right? The content, the system, all of this, it's about putting it together. That's the main thing. Obviously, I only had your time today for about what, the hour. I mean, we have a little bit of time left, so that's good too. But more importantly, what I want you to understand is that if you implement what I'm telling you, right, 30 days from now, not 6 months from now, 30 days from now, you could be in a whole different place. You could literally be in a place today, or 30 days from now, rather, where you're getting on the call with people who are legitimately wanting to work with you, people who are willing to pay you $5,000 for your services, people who are literally saying, yes, sign me up. I'm ready to go. That piece of content hit me so deeply that I know that you were the right person with you, right? But like I said, we didn't go over everything, right? With that being said, we remember the 4 pillars we talked about: offer, traffic, content, conversion. What we went over today was a high level view of content. What we were unable to go over was we didn't go over how to actually make an offer, right? We didn't go over the conversion system or even how to get your audience looking at you, right? So there's still 75% of the equation left to solve. The reason I'm saying this is I just don't want you to be like, oh, I got it all. Like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, what you got is genuinely going to change everything, but there's still more to learn, right? But I will say this. I myself have been on both sides of the equation, right? I have been that person on LinkedIn starving for a client. Like I remember those days so vividly where it's like I was so frustrated being like, why is no one enrolling? Why is no one buying? Why is my content not hitting? Right? Like you're almost like you start to doubt yourself. Like, is this really going to work? Like, am I doing things right? And then I've also been on the other side where I've literally woken up and been like, wow, we closed 15 grand today. Like this is real. I've been on both sides of the equation. And I'm saying that the only difference is the activities you do each day on LinkedIn. It's not about hard work. You're all doing more than enough hard work. You're doing, like, the effort is there. It's not a matter of effort. You're probably even doing too much effort, if anything. It's about doing the right things, right? So if you do the right activities, I'm saying this with supreme confidence, the universe will open up for you. You will get more clients. You will get more people working with you. Things will just happen on a consistent basis and it'll all become a reality. Okay. So before I go into questions, all of this, what I am doing right now, and I know you have tons of questions right now, is for everyone that attended this call today, as promised, we have the list. There's 35 of you in this call right now. I'm going to give you all full access to the group coaching call with my clients that I hosted 2 weeks ago. So all you need to do to get access to that training is simply message me at the end of this call on LinkedIn saying, hey, Sarm, I stuck around to the end of this call. Send me the training, or please send me the training if you want to be polite, and I will personally, and I'll deliver it to you today. So you'll have access to all of that, right? Now, again, with that being said, on top of that, right now, if you don't know what I do, I run a coaching program myself, specifically for coaches and consultants who want to scale their business to a $20,000 to $30,000 per month level using just an organic inbound LinkedIn content strategy. I'm talking about people coming to you, a system where you put yourself out there, your buyers are raising their hands, they're coming towards you, they're buying from you, you're collecting cash, you're building a business. Now, you guys have seen the results at this point. You've seen myself hold up that 2 Comma Club award. You've seen my clients do the same. You've literally seen my clients come from zero to making 10, 20, 30 grand a month. Now, the reason I say this is because everything I'm teaching you is not theory, it's real, right? It's real. I've taken people who are working corporate jobs, never sold a thing before, to making 20 grand per month. I've helped a book writing coach consistently do 10K per month with 900 followers on LinkedIn, right? The list goes on and on and on. So with that being said, what I'm doing right now is, for a few people here today, I'm opening up 5 spots for a call with me. Now, this call is going to be totally free, no problem at all, right? And on this call, I'm going to sit down with you and I'm going to evaluate your entire business for you. I'm going to figure out where you are right now, right? Where you're at. Even if you're starting from zero, that's fine. I'm going to help you create a game plan on this call of exactly what you need to do to get to where you want to go. So if you tell me on this call, I want to consistently be making 20K per month with my business, that is fine. I will sit down with you on that call and I will map out a game plan of what needs to be done to get you there, right? And if it is the right fit and I genuinely feel I can help you get to where you want to go, I will tell you about my coaching program. Now, again, there's no obligation whatsoever, but for the people in this call today, if you join the program and you are attending this call, I will give you access to my Black Friday package. Now, what that includes is extra private coaching with me, more one-on-one support, live audits, access to all my frameworks. If you thought this lesson was good, just imagine what we could do over the course of 6 months together. Like legitimately think about it, right? You've been here for 40 minutes and I've been giving this to you. Imagine 6 months with me. What could change in your business? What could change in your life? Legitimately, right? Your entire universe could turn around with all of this. And I don't say this, haphazardly. I say this with supreme confidence. So, anyways, again, the call is totally free. If you want to book it with me, Juanita's going to put my calendar link in the comments below. So, or the Zoom chat, whatever it is. So Juanita, if you want to pop in my calendar, feel free to book the call. Now I'm going to open it up for questions, but make sure right now to book that call. I'm only going to be taking on 5 spots because it is going to be one-on-one free call with me. So if you want to take advantage of that call, go right ahead. I will say this though, this isn't for dabblers. I want you to take this call if you're legitimately considering taking your coaching business to the next level. I'm talking about getting to that 20, 30, 40K per month level. You want my support. Again, no obligation, but don't just book the call because you want to have a nice chat with me and things like that, right? Take this call if you're serious and willing to consider a next possible step. Either way, no obligation. I'm still going to give you a free strategy that you can take and run with yourself. It'll be completely yours to have either way. Awesome. Awesome. Great. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. So let's dive right into the questions. I know there's a lot here. Okay, let me scroll up to the top and we'll start from, I'll see the first question that I can see here. Are you going to share the docs? Oh, everyone wants the docs, huh? Yeah, that's not a problem. I can share the docs with you after. Just send me a message. And I'll give you guys the docs. Do you have to create a Google Doc or can you just type it into ChatGPT? Pretty standard question. Good question. Answer to that is it's better to give it right now, just the way ChatGPT works. It actually works better if you feed it a document. It reads it better. I've just tested it both ways. You could just feed it directly, but if you put it into a doc and it scans it, I've always noticed that I get better results than if I don't, right? So if you don't want to do it, then I don't see why you wouldn't. It's like 10 seconds of extra work. Both work, but from my experience, uploading a doc is a much better play. Yeah. Frederick says, my favorite content of yours is the short vids. Can you share best practices for a mix of photo, vid, text? Yeah, look, when it comes to content, just create the content you are most comfortable with creating. If you're not good on video and you're more of like an introvert and that's not like your thing, then it'll hurt you to go on camera and try and pretend like you know what you're talking about, right? So try and do what I feel very comfortable on camera. For me, being on camera, not a problem. So I don't, basically what I'm trying to say here is that there's no right or wrong, right? What is most important is that you're consistently creating content. You can pick the format of what works. In terms of photo, if you're going to pop in a photo, just make sure your photo connects with the post. Like, for example, if you're talking about a post about landing your next dream job in tech and it's you sitting on a beach, it doesn't really connect with the post. I see a lot of people do that, right? I'm even guilty of doing that sometimes too. So just try and find posts that are actually connecting to what you're talking, or photos that are connecting to your post. Also would love to know how much time you spend on LinkedIn every day between content generation. Honestly, not that much. A lot less than you guys probably think. My system is pretty simple. I'm very structured and organized. What I do, number one, is I don't take calls on Mondays. Mondays, I lock off my calendar and I only create content. And on Mondays, like, I'm productive. In Mondays, I write 5 written posts, I record 5 LinkedIn videos, and I record a full YouTube video. I do this all in one day, right? I mean, you got to be really dialed in to do this. I'm not going to lie to you, but you can get it done, right? And I'm not saying you need to create as much content as I do, but in terms of format and formula, just block off one day of the week. Find one day of the week and just be like, hey, no one can talk to me today. I'm just going to create all my content for the week. And then Tuesday to Friday, you can then go and focus on your income producing activities, right? So I definitely recommend to do that. Okay, let's keep going here. Guys, again, I see a couple of you have booked calls. Let me see. I'm just checking right now. How many spots do we have available? Oh, nice. I think we're filled up now. Okay, well, guys, if you want to book that call with me, do it. Yeah, I think we're done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's very few spots left, guys. I think there's like 1 or 2 left right now. So if you want to book this call with me, take it now. Again, like I was saying, like, this is the opportunity. Like there's never going to be an opportunity to work with me this closely again. I'm moving away from the one-on-one model and I'm moving towards more of a just group only model. So if you want my direct support moving forward, take this call. Again, the call is totally free, right? No obligation. I'm still going to give you the game plan, but take advantage. Like I can't express this enough, right? This is just one of those decisions that'll change everything for you if you do it right. Okay, let's keep going. Um, do you comment alongside this? I'm not sure what you mean by that one. Can you clarify? Why don't I just go back to working Jack in the Box? I don't know what to say to that one. Hopefully you don't go back to working at Jack in the Box. How much would you say it matters to engage with others on LinkedIn, liking posts, reposting content? It's quite important. I don't think not reposting content of others, but look, you definitely want to build a community of buyers, right? You definitely need, and your buyers need to feel heard or understand. Now, there is two things I will say. Number one, the majority of your buyers are lurking in the shadows. They're seeing your content, but they're not engaging, they're not liking, they're not commenting. I can't tell you how many times people have bought from me and I didn't even know they existed, yet they've been following me for the last 7 months. So don't worry too much. Like if you're not getting a lot of engagement, trust me, when you see 200 impressions on your post, those are 200 real people that are looking at you. Your buyers are there. So what you need to do, more importantly than focusing on responding to all the comments, is that you're getting them, that you're generating, that you're getting these people to take action. You want to get your buyers to come out of the shadows and move forward. That's what you really want to focus on. But to answer your question, yeah, absolutely. Um, how frequently should we post on LinkedIn? Look, if your goal is $20,000 per month, you should be publishing 5 times per week. I'm just going to be straight with you. If you want to, it should be a very straightforward thing. Publish. And again, don't try and create content every day. The creative mind, you have to understand, it's almost like you're working with 3 minds. You have the creative mind, you have the marketing mind, and you have the sales mind, and then you even have the coaching mind. So let's right. It's weird to try to create content, coach your clients, and take a sales call all in the same day. Do you know what I mean? Like you're activating different parts of your mind to reduce stress and have better results. Pick one day. All right, Monday's content creation day. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, I'm only with clients. Thursdays, Fridays, I'm taking sales calls. I promise you'll make more money if you do it this way. Um, what do you include in your 5K coaching offering for your clients? How are the one-on-ones? So I'll give you the details when we speak on the phone together. I'll give you the full structure. But just a quick overview of what it is you're going to have one-on-one support from me. I'm going to be the one helping you. I'm going to be actually doing full audits of your content, your profile, everything. Basically, it's going to be me being your best friend for the next 6 months, guiding you through each step of the way to get your business to that 20, 30K per month level, depending on where you want to go, right? So you'll have one-on-one support, chat support, you name it. I'll give you all the details, but more importantly, what's really going to get you to where you want to go is just understand that by the end of working with me, you're going to have a business that actually produces a high amount of cash flow, gives you the life you want, and, takes you to where you want to be. That's really the main goal here. Iman says, can you run a coaching business without showing yourself? How many hours a week do you initially need for a successful launch? It's a good question. I would say you should show yourself, to be honest. I'm not saying you can't, but if you don't want to show yourself, that's a whole other ball game. And maybe you can get some AI bot to act like you, but especially, let me put it this way. I wouldn't be the person to help you with that. You definitely need to put yourself out there in terms of coaching. Now, if you want to do this part-time, yeah, you can easily do this part-time and still generate 10, 15 grand a month, right? You can do this 10, 15 hours a week, right? Do it on the side, generate a good business, all of that. So to answer your question succinctly, number one, you should show your face. No, I don't know, the thumbs up game. And number two, you can do this 10 to 15 hours a week part-time if you so desire, right? If it's still there, opening for a call. Yeah, Janelle, Juanita, do you mind sending, hopefully I'm not saying your name incorrectly, Janelle, the link? She just asked for it in the chat. Okay, so do you create enough content for 7 days per week or just 5 days? It's a good question. I'll let you in on a little secret of my content strategy. So I create about 10 to 12 posts every single week, 10 to 15 sometimes. And I publish twice a day, Monday to Friday. So I have a morning post and an afternoon post. On weekends, I still will post, not every weekend, but on weekends, I like to post more lifestyle content. So if you guys follow me, I know some of you might even follow me on Instagram as well, or other places. I do share a lot of lifestyle stuff, right? What I'm up to. Like, if you know anything about me, I like scuba diving. I like, traveling, hiking. I like all of that kind of stuff, right? So I do a ton of that kind of stuff. So on weekends, where it's kind of like more people are more in a relaxed mode, I use my weekend content to introduce my lifestyle more. And then I use my Monday to Friday content to go a little bit more deeper emotionally. So I'm able to kind of hit all angles. I'm not saying you need to do that right away if you don't have the bandwidth to, but that's what I do. Okay, let's go here. Do you comment on other posts alongside producing content? Yeah, we do. That's part. Yeah, that's definitely an important part of the strategy. But again, do it strategically, right? If you are a career coach, let's say helping women in tech, but your audience, let's say you're a career coach helping women in tech, but you start commenting on, a barista at Starbucks posts, right? It's not necessarily going to bring any value to you, right? You want to make sure that you're commenting on the people's posts that are actually relevant to your niche. It could either be your competitors, your ideal clients, or someone in the sphere of what you do. Does it matter if your offer is one-on-one or group? No, not at all. What matters is that you can get your clients results. That's the most important thing, right? I remember one time someone asked me, he was kind of grilling me on a sales call. This was a few years ago. I was like 27, 26. And he said, like, what makes it, how can you be a LinkedIn business coach at 26 years old? This makes no sense to me. And I said, why do you say that? He said, you're so young and you don't have all this experience. And I looked at him and I said, well, wouldn't it be fair to judge me based on my results versus my age? And he stopped. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, yeah, like, you know, would you rather work with someone who's 52 but no results, or 26 with tons of results? And then that kind of like, got him going. He calmed down after that. He's like, yeah, good point, good point. So most important thing, Valerie, to answer your question is that it doesn't matter whether it's one-on-one or group. What matters most is that you're getting your clients good results. How do you help your clients create those lead magnets if they don't have those already? Well, I work with them directly, right? We're like, in the program, I'm sitting down with you, giving you the formula structure. How do you actually create a good hook at the beginning? How do you actually get people engaged throughout the entire call or the entire lead magnet? How do you get them booking as many calls as possible? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, in the program, this is where you get full access to me. You get access not only to my teachings, you get access to me in live form, the kind of idea where I'm sitting down and saying, all right, pull up your content. Let's go through it. Let's see. Why aren't you booking calls? Why are you booking calls? Let's go through your lead magnets, right? So this is the value of being able to just accelerate your process and get to 20K per month, in the next 30 to 60 days instead of the next 3 to 7 years. Nancy asks, what's your strategy to convert people who comment on posts asking for help to convert them to customers? Well, it's a bit of a loaded question. I like it. What I would say is what you want to do ultimately is you qualify them. First of all, make sure that they're the right fit and then book the call, right? You need to have a good qualification process, because here's the thing. A lot of people are going to want to book calls with you, but if they're not qualified, don't take the call. I'm being serious. Like, don't take the call. Give them support, help them, be honest with them, give them whatever, value you can to a certain point, but you got to qualify them. And this is why it's important asking questions before the call. Like, for example, if you book a call with me, even for the ones of you who have already booked a call, like, I don't even know how many of you have already booked, but for those of you who have already booked calls with me, you'll see that I ask questions. I say, okay, tell me, about your current situation, where you want to go. Are you willing to invest in yourself if you feel it's the right fit, right? I say this stuff because I qualify the people. So to answer your question, Nancy, you want to book calls, just make sure they're qualified. Wow, a lot of you have booked calls. Wow, this is great. Okay, so let's see. Jeff, Joe, Jason, Amy, Gates, Irina. Looking forward to speaking with you all. This is gonna be, yeah, we'll make this special. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's keep going here. So gotta run, thanks. Okay, awesome. Any final questions? I'm the type of coach that prefers to hire coaches when I get them one-on-one. Awesome. Do I get to work with you one-on-one through the program? Yeah, absolutely. You get one-on-one access with me in the program. I'll go through the details of the program on the call. What I really want you to focus on more here is just like the results we can expect working together and getting you to where you want to go. That's really, really what I want to leave you off all with today. So awesome. Any final questions? We still got a little bit of time here. Awesome. Okay, well, I'll leave you off with all this, right? Like, this is kind of my final note, I guess you could say here. By the way, if anyone does want to book another call, I just realized I opened some spots in my calendar right now. I actually blocked them off so people could book calls with me, and then I forgot to unblock them off before the call. So hold on. I've just unblocked them off. So if anyone does want to book a call with me now, there's more spots available for today for us to speak. So anyways, before we jump off today, I just want to finalize by saying this to you. If there's one message that I can finalize with all of you today, it is that it is possible. It has never been more possible than it is right now to have a six-figure coaching business, right? And not just about the money, not just about even the clients, all of this stuff, about like yourself, right? Just, I want you all to envision a future where people are paying you top dollar because they respect you. People want to work with you. You're getting your clients really good results. You're living a life of, financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. If you want to go travel and work in Mexico for a month, you can do that. If you want to go visit family across the country, nothing is stopping you. Not the flight tickets, not your work schedule, nothing. All of that is possible. And that's really what I want to show you, right? It's the life that I'm lucky enough to live. It's the life my clients are able to live. It's literally a reality for some people. And I want to show you and expose you to that reality. So regardless of what happens from this point onwards, I want you to just move forward knowing that that reality is fully available to you. And all you need to do is just learn the right activities and go and execute on it. And I promise you it will happen. So thank you all for being here. I look forward to speaking with a bunch of you. I know a lot of you guys book calls, so I'm looking forward to speaking with you. And for those of us who, when we do work together, I promise you, I'll give you my best and we'll make it the best possible outcome for you that you can possibly have. So thank you very much. Awesome. I'll see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.